Hey guys, it's Skyward here, and today I'm bringing you another bootleg review, this time of the Enlighten set Umata, or Omata. Not really sure how it's pronounced, but this is an interesting one because it is actually one that I got from a friend of mine in a recent haul package that I actually got from Russia. It was something that we feared lost for quite a while, as it was several months ago when I actually had ordered the package from them, but thankfully it was found in the mail and promptly arrived afterwards. So pretty happy to see it. Interesting little guy here because it's basically Vakama with a couple of interesting changes. Most notably, this mask. So what I can tell you is that this is from the brand Enlighten Brick, which is a brand or an off-brand that is still around and is still popular in the Chinese market, I believe. But they're most known or legendary for their Bionicle specific bootlegs. This is something that they did several years ago, and they actually did a bootleg line of the Taraga sets as well as the Metru style Matoran sets, and perhaps some others like the Borakal. I have one of those as well. So some other ones here and there. What's interesting about this set here is that like their Metru Matoran, and they had two lines of those, the Taraga and those Metru Matoran all use the same four masks, just recolored. So they never actually made a Huna mold, and they never made a Ruru mold, which is a bit sad. It's my favorite mask, but so what's interesting here is that instead of Vakama's Huna, we get Omata's Matatu in orange. And this is an interesting mask at the very least. I didn't think it was going to match Lego's orange, but it does actually seem like a really close match overall. However, the most notable thing about this, and I wish I had a flashlight or something on me to show you this, is that the mask is pretty translucent. This has been a notable feature of pretty much all of Enlighten Brick's masks, but I think it's actually really cool here because it definitely shows through with this mask. You're not going to see details behind it, but if you hold it up to a light or something, you'll definitely see the light pass right through the mask, which is the case for some Lego masks as well. So it's an interesting mask to see overall. It's just your standard Matatu type mask here. Needs to be a little bit cleaned up on the inside, but nothing too fancy. However, what's interesting about this mask, and pretty much all of the masks from this brand, is that they're matte in texture. There's no glossy textures on the masks, which I think is kind of cool. It's a neat novelty. It definitely separates the masks from the official models, and in some cases, I even think slightly improves. The Rao is a really good example of that. I like the Rao, the official Rao, a lot. However, Enlighten's Rao actually has a matte texture that I'm quite a fan of, and so it's just a little bit of an added detail. What else is interesting here? You will see that the weapon is the same standard fire staff, which is a bit unfortunate. I do wish it would have been a recolored orange or something, but very clearly they were trying to just mimic Lego's official weapons as well. So fire staff here is nothing really to write home about. But interestingly, these levers on the back are orange, which if you actually own Vakama, you'll know that this is not his exact build. So all of the Taraga have unique builds in very slight ways. Vakama's method is that he actually has a slightly longer neck than the rest of the Taraga. And so because of that, he uses a different neck build, and so therefore his lever on the back of his body is black instead of orange. So you are getting these orange lever pieces here, which is pretty cool. I don't know if those are pieces that LEGO produced. I don't believe they did. I know they have red, but I do not believe they have orange. However, I could very easily be wrong about that. So in that case, it is a recolor. Another noteworthy thing here, and I find this one a little bit more interesting, is the eyes are just your trans lime green. Basically, Liwa or Matau's color. And I find that as an odd choice, because it doesn't seem to match what they usually do for their builds. Usually they will try and get a close color representation for the eyes for these characters, at least from my experience. However, this is not the case here with these lime green eyes. I assume maybe they were trying to invoke a yellow look, and as far as I'm aware, they don't have yellow, or maybe they do on the blue character, and I just haven't seen it yet. It's still interesting to see here at the very least, these lime green eyes. They are a pretty good match for Legos, so you're not getting a new recolor or anything there, but it is interesting to see nonetheless. Lastly, the Mata head here, again, kind of that translucent-like plastic. That seems to be a pretty normal pattern that I've seen with a lot of their stuff. but it does also have that matte texture as well. So you're not getting the glossy shine on the top here, you're getting a matte texture, which looks really nice. And I've actually compared this to the original Mata style head. It's not something that you would show up on camera, but the details are actually slightly sharper, which is interesting because most bootlegs, if their details don't match, the details are going to be softer. Usually the edges are a little bit softer or something like that. This is the opposite effect here. The details are slightly sharper, slightly smaller, and I find that fascinating. It's really good. In terms of quality, this is a very high quality bootleg, and it's why I've been a big proponent of the Enlighten Masker brand when it comes to the Bionicle bootlegs, and even some of the non-Bionicle bootlegs that I have purchased from them. Just because there's so many interesting little novelties in these sets that I think really makes them stand out. This one is not an exception. So, yeah, aside from this, I have a couple more of these guys that I am going to do reviews on, if I can get my words out. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video here. I will be back shortly. I need to film some more videos, so I will see you guys in the next one. But if you guys do own any of these guys or have any opinions you'd like to share, go ahead and leave a comment below. You can also help me out by liking and subscribing to the channel. And of course, if you want to get a hold of me for any reason, I do have an Instagram and Discord, which I will leave linked in the description below. I hope you guys enjoyed, and take care.